So first off, tell me, what was your journey in getting here to pastor this church?
Well, it's been a very interesting one from an amalgamated tradition in the Christian faith. Been a lot of different things, and there was a doctor Dr. George Johnston, who had heard me preach at another congregation and asked that I would come and serve the church, and so I did, and I've been here since that time.
Wow, so how long have you been here?
Well, 5 years now. Originally, I subbed for a while back about 15 years ago, but for the last 5 years, I've been here serving.
Wow, that's amazing. And when was this church first built?
This particular building, late 1800s, and it was renovated. The most extensive renovation in the church's history was done by Dr. Joseph Holly, who was the founder of Albany State, back in 1908. And so in the 182-year history, he's conducted, even to date, the most extensive renovation on this facility.
Mm-hmm. And you know, back in the days when this church was first built, it was definitely a safe haven for a lot of African Americans. So can you kind of speak on that, please?
Absolutely. You know, the interesting thing about this church is that it was made up of a lot of educators and a lot of entrepreneurs and business people, and they had a lot of influence in terms of the way that other people would live. They've been advocates for education, advocates for self-help and self-determination, and so the people really influenced the society, particularly African-American society. But also because of the Presbyterian background, they had some connections with people who were not black, white people, and they did very well to bring the two of those worlds together.
Mm-hmm. And we're here, we're doing a story on Miss Lucy Laney, but her family has history in this church. So when was her father the pastor of this church?
He was the first pastor back in 1838 during the founding of the church and the early establishment of the church, Reverend David Laney, and served the church very nobly and well. He was a carpenter, and I think that a lot of things that he was able to do contributed to, just the structure itself and some of the details and embellishments as a part of everything.
Definitely. And while he was a pastor, a young lady, she was sitting here in these pews listening on to him. Do you think it's fair to say that he definitely inspired her to do what she ended up doing in her life?
Absolutely. One of the most impressive things about Miss Laney's impressive life is that she was a woman of faith, a deep and abiding faith. And as you read things about her and you see the contributions that she's made to education and uplift for humanity, one of the common cores that you always hear is about her faith in God and the service that she gave because of that faith in Jesus Christ. So yeah, I would imagine that shaped her greatly.
Mm-hmm. And what does Lucy Laney, what does she mean to you?
Well, she means that for me, she's a person who did not make excuses for why something couldn't be done. And it's beautiful because she believed that the power inside the individual was greater than any other power outside of the individual. And it's that internal power that she lived and she advocated for people to know and find that shaped their lives. And so that's the most memorable aspect of all that she's done for me.
Mm-hmm. And today, even what she did, with education, how do you feel like she could still be a beacon of hope for our community right here at home?
Absolutely. If we continue her work and if we continue that kind of boundless energy, and I think we still can be, because what she did is left a model and a framework and a pattern for us to follow. And, just by making what's important being that's on the inside to affect what's on the outside.
Yes, sir. And the last question, is there anything that you would like to add that we may have missed?
No, I would like to say that Lucy Laney is not just a person who was in history. She's a treasure of that history. And one of the things that we should do is to pull tomorrow into yesterday by looking at today, doing the things that were done yesterday. And so if we just follow her example, I think the world would be a better place, because certainly she was also salt and light and just did tremendous things by any metric and by any standard.